So today we are going to see overview session especially. So because the SAP Fiori security is very recently launched by SAP, or you can say the Fiori application itself has been launched recently. Okay, and in that, what exactly is a security concept? So that is what we are going to see today. Okay, right. So let's start now. So first of all, the background of it, why it started, etc. The Fiori concept. So this is the login page into Fiori. So how the Fiori page looks like. So this is a login page, how you see. You need to enter your user ID and password here. So you need to exist in the Fiori system. That Fiori system user ID password has to be entered here. Okay. Or if you are using S4 HANA system, so S4 HANA system itself will be the backend for your Fiori. If you are not using S4 HANA, or if you are an ECC system, there has to be a separate system which is called as a Fiori system, and these two systems will be integrated. So your ID should be existing in the Fiori system especially. So only when your ID is existing in the Fiori system, with that user ID and password, you can type it here and then you can open the Fiori Launchpad, right? So this is one way of entering into the Fiori system, or else we have the T code which we can launch it from the backend system. That can be our backend Fiori system, or it can be an S4 system. So we will see all those things. So what exactly the Fiori mean? So the Fiori is nothing but flower. It has been taken from the Latin word called as flower. So because SAP is from German started from Germany. So they have taken a word from the Latin word. So Fiori is a word, Latin word, which means flower. So here, so that's why you can see a flower symbol in every login page, in the front of in every Fiori login page. So why we have to use Fiori? So these are the advantages by introducing Fiori into the landscape. What are the advantages? Increased productivity. So how the productivity can be increased? First thing. So productivity increases when the employee is more interested to work. So generally, if you go in any organization or if you join any organization, and if the work culture is not so easy, you don't feel comfortable working there, right? Same way, most of the end users feel SAP login screen as one of the not so user friendly screen. Imagine a normal layman or a common man entering into SAP GUI and executing the transactions. So what to type, where to enter the details, all these fields or these data will be very clumsy actually for end user point of view, right? So that is one thing. So SAP screen is not user friendly so far. That's why SAP has been trying from the very beginning to launch many tools. In that process only, they have launched the Java version like Enterprise Portal. You might have heard Enterprise Portal. Most of the organizations are using it now. And then they have launched something called ABAP WebDyn Pro. So when you are using like a CRM application or GRC application, you can heard of or you have seen about ABAP WebDyn Pro applications using like NWBC. So they are trying to make the screen more user friendly. So that is only for application wise point of view. NWBC is only for specific systems. But when you come to enterprise portal, it is for entire enterprise. It can be implemented. Now this Fiori is like apps and tiles. So we'll see the screen. Apps and tiles will be there. So just like how you operate your smartphone or a tab or your desktop or a laptop. So you can access these apps from any of your multiple devices. So That is how the productivity can be increased. So means the user can be easily access any application with the help of, he feels comfortable in accessing any application. So that's how we increase the productivity. So timely notifications. So notifications means, what do you mean by notification? So just like when you consider about your smartphone, whenever you get a WhatsApp message, you get a notification on your screen, like you have got a message from so and so person, or there are so many unread messages, or when you get a Gmail, a mail is a pop-up comes in your smartphone indicating that a mail has come from so and so person. So these are called as a notifications. Okay, so such notifications also can be introduced through Fiori apps. So whenever there is a mail, you can see a pop-up on your tile saying that a new mail has come, or you can see, you can show the count of the mails, 100 mails, or the request waiting for your approvals. All those number can be populated on the tile or on the app. So that is called as a timely notifications. Allows user to take quick and informed actions, because you can see those all things readily on in the front end screen. So user can take quick actions and increase user satisfaction. Because of all these things, his satisfaction is increased, user satisfaction is increased. So that's how the major part of Fiori comes into picture. So now coming to the history, as I told you, SAP has been trying since from the very beginning to make it the screen, or to make SAP as more user friendly. So these are the attempts done by SAP. So now we have been seeing SAP GUI. So you must be all aware, everyone must be aware of this SAP GUI, how the GUI login pad looks like, how do you log in with user ID and password. Then there was something called as ITS, Internet Transaction Server. So in the Internet Transaction Server, it was not a successful tool, it was a failure. Then the Enterprise Portal was launched, NetWeaver has been launched, ABAP WebDriver, as I told you, NWBC. Then comes up UI5 language and user interface, like UX language. So now you might be seeing outside, UI5 is much in demand. So everybody, like ABAP is a very old language. When SAP has started, ABAP has started. But now today, more people are wanting SAP UI5 or UX, you can say. So these are the things which are based on this only, UI5 only, the language. The personas or Fiori has been launched. So the personas are also, which SAP personas also, like it looks like more user-friendly screen. It is again a more graphical version of SAP screen can be built in SAP personas. So SAP Fiori is what we are going to see. We'll show you the screen and all those things. And then recently they have launched one more tool which is called as SAP Leonardo. So Leonardo is also one of the front-end application. It is still in the ramp-up phase. They have released for some clients and still not released completely. So you can hear this word in future also. SAP Leonardo is coming up as one of the front-end application and as a tool. Right? So this is the history of SAP Fiori now. So how the SAP Fiori is becoming the now more buzzword in the industry. The reason is SAP has already announced S4 HANA system is mandatory for every client to be implementing it by 2025. So by 2025, every client, whoever is on ECC today, he has to shift to S4 HANA system. In S4 HANA, they have Fiori, they have introduced Fiori as a front end. So that's the reason most of the clients are today interested in implementing the SAP Fiori. They are not exactly interested in the S4 HANA, but they wanted to look how the look and feel of the system would be. So we have to make the users comfortable using it, rather than drastically changing, suddenly changing from ECC to S4 HANA. What the clients are doing now, they are implementing a separate system called Fiori system, and they are integrating it with ECC, and that's how the Fiori apps and tiles are being built. So that will be a slow modification or a slow change that is happening in the organizations, and users can accommodate with that change, right? So if you have questions, you can ask me in middle, no problem. You can stop me in the middle and you can put me the questions. So let us see. So any questions meanwhile so far? Okay, that's fine. So let us see now the architecture part. So in the architecture, you can clearly see there are two items here, which is referred as front-end server and the back-end server. Okay. If it is a S4 HANA system, both back-end server and front-end server will be on the same system. It is same system, that is S4 HANA system. But when it comes to ECC, so maybe ECC can become your backend system here, where your actual role, PFCG role, which gives access to all your T codes and etc., will be present. And the front end server, as I told you, a separate system has to be installed. Our separate system, which is called as a Fiori system, will act as a front end server. So in this front end server also, we have the role concept you can see here. So there are two roles, one role in the backend system and one role in the front end, that is Fiori application. So this is the Fiori system role. So this role concept, the PFCG role backend, is nothing but all of you know, which we create. A role is like a T code, a combination of T codes and authorization objects. So most of you are aware of it already, those who are from security background. This is a normal role, PFCG role we are talking about. But when it comes to PFCG role in the front end server, it is not exactly the role which we create in PFCG, like with the T codes and authorization objects. It is a little bit different. So we don't add generally T codes in it. So we add few T codes like the Launchpad T codes and admin T codes, but most of the roles will be containing these things, like which we call as a catalog and a group. Okay, so the PFCG role which we are creating within the Fiori system will contain something as a catalog and group, and that catalog and group are responsible for showing up you a tile, or we can call it as a Fiori app as well. So Fiori app or tile are one and the same. So the catalog and group are responsible for showing up of your tiles and apps in your front-end Launchpad. So now how does that works? Like how this catalog looks like, how this group looks like, how to add them in the role, PFCG role. So when we go to PFCG, we all know how to add a T code, but how to add a catalog, how to add a group, which are responsible for showing up the Fiori apps. So that is what we are going to see in this session. So this is the main focus. I'm not focusing on the backend roles, which is a group of T codes and authorization objects. Our primary focus will be on the PFCG role, which we are building in the front end server, that is Fiori system, with the catalog and groups. Right. So let us move ahead now. So here the diagram, if you see, the yellow color all indicates the authorizations, and here the gray color is OData. So OData is nothing like the interface to communicate data between the backend system and the front end system, and UI is called as a user interface. So the architecture, whatever we have seen the overview of it, SAP Fiori apps built with what code? Okay, so it is not ABAP code. It is something called UI5 technology, UI5. So UI5 is nothing but it is a combination of HTML and Java code. So we have a separate Fiori consultants who can do that. So those who have a knowledge of UI5 language, that is HTML as well as Java and little bit of ABAP WebDyn Pro, so they can create apps in UI5 technology. So here now SAP is also trying to build or make it compatible with iOS as well. So your iPhone connectivity. So UI5 technology will work in your normal phone, mobile phone like Androids and all those stuff. But they are also building separate code for your iOS, which is like iPhone related or Apple related networks and devices. So you can see the support of smartphones, tablets, and desktops can be with a single code only. So the same code can be used to open the app from different applications. So different applications, when I say, you can open the same app from a smartphone, a tablet, or a desktop, or a laptop. The code is same. You did not create different codes. The code is same, but you have to make it compatible with the multiple devices. So this is all the duty of the Fiori consultants. So Fiori apps are launched and run in the Fiori Launchpad. The business data is retrieved at runtime via OData services. So when you click on an app, whatever the data you see in the app, that could be a report. When you click on an app, you can see a report. For example, all of you might be using your smartphones. In your smartphones, you have a banking applications, right? When you log in into your net banking, when you click on a statement, so you get the transactions done in a period of time. That is 1 month or 3 months or 6 months or 1 year. You will be able to retrieve the data from where is that data coming from. So that data is coming from the backend system where actually the data is lying. So that can be your ECC, that can be your BW, or that can be any other system. So in the very recent case, it is S4 HANA system. S4 HANA system itself is a database where all the data will be lying. So that data will be pulled and shown to you in the app itself, in front end itself. So that is not actually storing data in the app. So when you are clicking on statement in the net banking application, it is going back to the database, fetching the data from the database, and then it is showing to you. It doesn't mean the data is not stored in your mobile phone or in the app. So it is contacting the database where exactly the data is lying. From there, it is bringing back the data and showing to you. So that is called as retrieving the data at runtime. So this is possible through OData services. Okay, this is possible through OData services. So OData services will help you to bring the runtime data. Runtime data means online data. Whenever an app is running up. So the same thing again here, not tied to a device, user, or a session. So not tied to a device means you can open the same app from the desktop, your tab, and a smartphone. User. So what do you mean by user? I can log in into desktop, for example. I open an app, I do half work there, means there are 10 fields to be filled in the app, suppose. I fill 5 fields, then that will be saved as a draft. And again, now I log in, I close that application there. I log in from my smartphone. You can still see that 5 fields filled up. So it is not tied to your session. So your data, whatever you have half filled or not filled, it can be still saved and can be shown. So that is what you're telling. Start now, save incomplete, and continue later from a different device also. Keep working. Data is saved automatically and asynchronously. Start on one device, continue on other device. Start now, let someone else continue later. So like this. So this is the look and feel of the page actually, how the Fiori looks like. The page when you hit the Launchpad T code. So we have a Launchpad T code /UI2/FLP. So when I hit that particular T code, this is the page what you see. So this white box is called as an app, and you can see here a heading called as US profit margin, and you can see a number here 88. So the profit margins are up to 88. So whatever the number may be, and you can see in the form of a bar diagrams on the app itself, you can see the overview of the data. Cumulative expenses 1762. So these numbers indicates like a notifications. So in the app itself, you are able to see the data, how many requests are pending, how much is the transaction pending, and all those stuff. So this is built in UI5 technology. Okay, so this is all basically theory part. SAP Fiori architecture, Fiori Launchpad, key features and capabilities, etc. So nothing special about it. So let us focus on the role creation part. So this is the authorization concept in Fiori. User will be assigned with a role, PFCG role, and that role contains a group and a catalog, which is responsible for a tile shown up to you. Okay. So you can see here the orange color indicates the transaction PFCG. We as a security consultants, we are responsible for this. Creating user, creating a role. And then Launchpad designer is responsible for creating a group, creating a catalog, creating the tile, and then target mapping, etc., etc., everything. So you have to clearly understand here, the creation of group and catalog is not a duty of a security consultant. It is actually the duty of a Launchpad designer, that is a Fiori consultant. So they can create that. They can create a group and catalog. So once they give us the group and catalog, we can add them in the role. So how can we add them in a role? So let us see now. Okay, first let us understand the definitions of catalog first, and then I will show you how to add a catalog in a role, and then how to add a group in a role. So here is a catalog. You can say the definition of a catalog says the set of apps you want to make available for one role. So you can say a group of apps, just a group of apps, nothing but nothing more than that. A catalog is a set of apps. A user can browse through the catalog, choose apps from the catalog, and add them to the entry page of the Fiori Launchpad. So a catalog is a group of apps. Just keep that in mind. Two types, you can say technical and business catalogs. Technical is related to us, the technical people, like the who perform the technical activities in system, and business catalogs are actually the business end user catalogs. So this is how we add a catalog into a Fiori role. So you have to follow just this one, PFCG role, go to menu, under Fiori transaction menu, you can select Fiori tile catalog. So let me show you this now, how to add a catalog into a PFCG role. So this is system, a S4 system. I have a S4 system here. This was S4 HANA system. So this is a look and feel of an S4 HANA system. It looks a little bit different from your normal regular SAP system. So one of the main differences is the front end part, like how you see, for example, if I go to SU01, you can see the top, there are, earlier in our ECC, we can find the icons, but here you have a descriptions, the tabs with the descriptions directly. So this is one difference you can find. When you go even inside in PFCG also, you can find the similar format. Okay. So these are the small changes that has happened in our S4 HANA system. Otherwise, the look and feel of the data is same. So when I click on display, so these tabs are same. Some the layout has been changed. Okay, so that you can that is manageable actually, not much difference. Right. So let us go to PFCG now. So I'm creating a test role. So it is normal role creation, creating a single. Moving on to menu. So in menu, this is where you add the transactions. Now to add the catalog, you need to drop down this, and in this drop down, sorry, you need to change this transaction So click on this icon here. You can see different type of things can be added here. Transaction report. So look for SAP Fiori tile catalog and SAP Fiori tile group. So let us see the catalog first. And now you can search the catalogs here. What all catalogs are available? So these are some of the list of catalogs here. So you can find some business wise and module wise, business process wise. This is related to accounts receivable finance. So SAP FIN. So generally we have a word called BC here. So BC stands for business catalog. So you can search by a word SAP star BC. So all of them has the word BC here, which stands for business catalog. And these are the ready-made catalogs delivered by SAP. So most of the clients today are using them. If they want any modifications inside it, for example, this one, accounts payable current settings. So the respective Fiori developer has to modify the content of it, and then they have to give a custom name starting with Z, something like that, and that name has to be given to us. If they are creating a catalog, separate custom catalog, then we can see that in the list here. Okay, let us see if I have any custom ones. So just I'm giving a try to search for Z. So this is one of the Z. I think they have copied from the existing catalog only. Okay. Otherwise, there are lot of catalogs, standard catalogs. So you need to know what catalog you are going to create or what type of role you are going to create. So first, let us take an example now. Say, for example, I want to let us take a sales order related or a purchase order related. You need to go to the Fiori library. So this is available to everyone. Fiori apps library. In the Fiori apps library, you can go and search for a purchase order related apps information, like what is a catalog for it, what is a group for it, and all those stuff. So it's loading. Yeah. So this is like a open to everyone. So you can see the categories here, like all apps for S4 HANA, SAP apps for SAP S4 HANA, SAP apps for SAP Business Suite, Fiori Lighthouse apps, available on cloud, Fiori Cloud. Okay, so here when I go to all apps, so for example, I'm going to all apps now. Yes. Anyone has any questions? Okay, I request all of you to be on mute if you don't have a question.
Hi Sudhakar, this is Kishore.
Yeah, Kishore.
Yeah, I mean, I just have a doubt. Like, we have logged into S4 HANA backend system, right?
Yes, I have shown you, right? I just logged with my GUI login and password.
Yeah,
This
okay.
is
I just
normal
had a doubt.
system,
Like,
right?
yeah, okay.
Yeah.